It seems to be a situation where a man can't bet with his heart. It's frowned upon. You get abused for it. You know, my heart says OEX can get the job done here. They were so close last week, Dan. They won the Slayer. Had they won that Aquarius, they would have won it.
SLG, is he staring at you in the corner right now? Are you okay? Just blink twice if you're all right. He's blinked once, which concerns me, and maybe there is some sort of French authorities in the room of Shaady. It's fine, we won't mention it again. We will make sure you are okay. Yeah, you're right.
I can't blink.
just don't blink again. Make sure, can we get off camera? Can we get into game? I think that OEX do have a chance. As much as I think Cartel are going to continue their dominance, when you do look at the game types, when you do look at that Aquarius CTF, there is every right that OEX could have come away with a victory last week when they played up against each other. But if that was an unpracticed Cartel, are we going to see a Cartel who are actually looking, strategizing, trying to improve on the game types they were arguably weaker on? This would be one of them. So I'm expecting to see a new and improved Cartel here on Aquarius CTF.
Well, in the words of Fabrizio Romano, here we go. Winners finals, Aquarius CTF to kick us off. Camouflage is going to be so important, Dan, and we've seen Snipedrone use it to really good effect last week. Do you expect a similar story here?
Yeah, Snipedrone, he popped off on this game type last week. Not only was he slaying like mad, but he was pulling flags like crazy. He was single-handedly winning the game for Cartel at some point. So if you are OEX, you need to shut him down. Do not allow him to have that much creative freedom when it comes to Aquarius.
Camouflage still up there. The world is someone's oyster. We're seeing NURIX gamble now and try and get that, and he has secured it. Well, as much as Snipedrone tried to stop that getting punched into the chest, he was unable to do so. NURIX has that first camouflage in the bag, but unfortunately OEX don't have the numbers to make any significant push.
Yeah, numbers is what's important here. You've got to time your pushes correctly. You've got to make sure you are consistently slaying the other team when you do pull those flags as well. If you get 2 down, the likelihood is you're not pulling that flag. You've got to make sure it's at least 3. If not, of course, the best case scenario is going to be 4. Sometimes you even need a double set of slays before you're running a flag.
There goes all of NURIX's camouflage, unable to really get anything going for his team. And on the flip side of that, Cartel already have flag out and it's on the move. And is there a player positioned anywhere to stop it? 2 members down presently for OEX, so it looks as though, barring a miracle, this should be 1-0 Cartel, and a very similar story to what we've seen last week. They strike fast and they strike hard.
I love what I've just seen from Sica though. Rather than retreating back to try and get behind the flag to give him cover, he recognized that actually there was enough space for the flag to get back, so he ran ahead of the flag, got into the base to ensure no one was there to stop it, and he was also there to put it in just in case the flag guy goes down to some grenades, which we do see quite often here on Aquarius. But this is the same kind of bursting start that we saw last time from Cartel, but they just need to make sure they keep this intensity. Don't allow OEX back into the game.
Cartel, very much like a greyhound out the traps. We're seeing a flag pulled this side though for TchiK. Can he get the flag all the way home? He is able to round that corner and stay alive, but for the moment, and that's all it is for the moment, 4 dead for OEX.
Great movement though from Cartel with the flag there. I'm sure Shaady will be jotting that one down and we'll see a YouTube video on it shortly, because the movement you were able to achieve there allowed them to get that a little bit further with the flag. But at least OEX are pushing in. They're getting more aggressive here. Now they're 3 dead once more. Snipedrone again behind enemy lines.
Flag being relayed. That's something we've seen a lot last week with Snipedrone. Unable to get it any further than the fridge area though, and we're going to see a flag touch here, and it's going to be relayed again by Lqgend, and it's already at the halfway point.
Yeah, just needs to try and stay alive. Is there anyone to try and juggle this flag in? Cartel actually pushing ahead of the flag. Snipedrone deciding, look, let's not just try and train this one in. Let's get some slays. We've got some time to work with here. And there's NURIX getting the re, but Snipedrone does get some damage. But maybe Snipedrone could have got a touch. Maybe he could have thrown it first just to give his team a little bit more time. But I can't argue against it. I do think sometimes pushing ahead of the flag does work out for the most part.
I'm getting PTSD. Last week we've seen something very similar. Flag was on the opposite side though. This time it was over towards Closet. Snipedrone in almost the exact same situation. He could have gotten a flag touch, opted not to. He didn't get a flag cap, and the same thing has happened again. But I'm not angry with what they tried to do there, Dan. Push ahead of the flag, get some slays, no desperation.
Should be a comfortable return for Lqgend, which it is. And now Cartel, if they can carry on with the slays they've been able to find in the early stages of this game, they should be able to continue to just force OEX back into their base and then collapse around them. Fragxr is going to be the first to go down, and now here's where the collapse could happen.
Collapse coming through. Opts to back down this time though. Does Snipedrone wisely. Back to top middle. That's his home, and he should be paying rent up there, such as how much time he spends full complement of OEX up though, and Lqgend has been the man to fall. Flag out on their side as well, so they've got a man behind enemy lines, so that's going to be enough to stop any push.
How much HCS skins would you have to spend in rent to actually, you know, sit top middle for a considerable period of time though? That's the real question. That's what I'm asking.
At TchiK 343. Sort it out. What do we need to do? TchiK seems to be a man that gets atted on Twitter for almost any single problem. I'm facing a cheater at TchiK. My skins aren't working at TchiK.
I've got no toilet paper left at TchiK. He can help with everything. Just keep doing it. He will appreciate it, I promise. But there is going to be one down. Sica's down at the moment, as well as Snipedrone. So this could be a pull, but that's just how powerful Cartel are. Even when there's 2 down, there's always someone to be a nuisance. There's always someone to put bullets into you to ensure it's not going to be an easy flag run. That flag is still moving right now.
Flag still being relayed. TchiK's got it all the way to his closet, and barring a miracle, leading a bit of defense from his team. All still up. Need to escort this one home if they can. Snipedrone goes down. He was the furthest man forward for Cartel. This should be all tied up. It is all tied up 1-1.
Nice from OEX as well. Just getting that flag out initially. Yes, the flag runner went down, but they all ensured they were working back with that flag. Even though Snipedrone had got back into the base, they ensured that they took him down together, working as a unit. And now Lqgend just trying to be awkward in the base of OEX for Cartel right now.
Shaady got that kill onto Fragxr, and that's significant because not only was the kill important, but he also had the camouflage, so making sure that cannot be used against your team. Big 1v1, pivotal there. NURIX comes out on top.
You're seeing both teams trying to run this flag, actually, either side, whether it be P side, whether it be Needle side, we're seeing less bottom middle runs, and that's because we've not really seen an all 4 down coming through. We've not seen just a clear flag run happen for either team. Instead, it's just 2 down or 3 down, and instead trying to make the most of just running it to the side.
Flag moved by Shaady and opting to clamber it top middle. Got it all the way home now. It's 4 members of OEX, so we could see a stop here. Will anybody fire shots across the window? Yes, they will. It's down, but it's been relayed in. Touched in. 2-1 Cartel.
That's so good from Cartel, recognizing how vulnerable you are as the flag runner when you're trying to put it in on Aquarius here. We're going to see a lot of that in the future of HCS. A lot of stops. There's going to be some very exciting moments, but Cartel did lose all 4 members, so OEX can run one as well here.
SLG doing just that, running it, got it all the way back to Fragxr. This could be a very quick counter cap from them. TchiK has lost his life. That will make this challenge a little bit more difficult. Grenade comes in, isn't going to tag up SLG too much whatsoever. 2-2, it's fast and it's scrappy.
Nice little 180 flag cap as well, just turning his back to make himself even harder to kill in case some bullets did come across the map. But this is as close as it was when we saw it last week as well. Hard to separate the two. When you look at the slays, actually it's OEX who've got a little bit more kills than Cartel. So perhaps OEX are trying to combat what they really struggled with last week, which was being outslayed in various areas. We're not seeing the same Snipedrone this week, but he has got camouflage.
Fantastic. Trigger discipline coming out of Snipedrone. He had 2 members at the back base, opted not to shoot them, back down instead and waited for help. And now he has full control of the enemy base. Flags pulled out, it's already front court, so this could be a flag cap if OEX aren't clever.
Good listening from Snipedrone there, but not able to actually connect with those bullets. That would have been a massive kill. But instead, at least they are working as a unit in that base. They throw the flag out, and then they're making sure they get back together to fight as a one.
Lqgend then clears his base. That's something they don't have to worry about now. Also can get the return. And they have got the opposing flag already over the halfway point, but it's going to be honors even. That one's going to be sent home as well. So these 2 teams are going to have to start from where they started at the very beginning of the map. 2v2 on the scores. And this battle goes down front court, and what can TchiK do with 2 of his teammates already in the respawn screen? Not a lot, it would seem, as Sica shuts him down.
Both these teams single-handedly trying to prove why this is a 5 flag rather than a 3 flag, like all of the other games being 5 flag. And I think that's because when it's played at this level, and when you get 2 teams who really know how to get into the base and run those flags, you know, we can get to those 5 flags in the time allocated. It's difficult, but it does happen from time to time.
Flag already up top closet. Can he throw it in? Just trying to be super patient with it as well, waiting for that return to come through, which it does.
Whoop.
Looking for that grab. He was fumbling it just a little bit, looked around, it wasn't in grab distance. He finally does get it, and that could have been a little bit of pain on their side, but Snipedrone does punch it in to give them a 1-kill advantage. And there goes a sizzle stick sent in, tethered to one of those players top middle. SLG taken down to no shields. Ultimately, those tethers do the damage. Snap, crackle, and pop his shields away, and camouflage also secured. Cartel are starting to cook.
I'd like everyone to know Jersey's wanted to say sizzle sticks for the past 2 weeks, and he's finally he's found a time to say it. I hope you're happy, Richie. Maybe it'll stick. Maybe sizzle sticks will start to be a thing that people call it. But for now, I'm going to stick with dynamo grenades. But you can try and do whatever you want. But it is a 3-2 lead. Now, with Cartel having that lead, they just need to regain this map control. They've allowed OEX to get those counter caps pretty quickly, assert some dominance, get top middle, get Snipedrone going, and don't allow OEX to get a flag in this next 3 minutes.
Well, they might do just that, Dan. 2 members down momentarily for Cartel. That's 2 again. Set to the respawn, make that 3 as 1 does trade out for Snipedrone. So they have got the ingredients that they need and require to get a flag pull here, but Cartel are defending as strongly as they can. They're being resolute. NURIX in on the flag of this 1v1. He wins that engagement as well. Can he get it out towards this closet area? Yes, he can. Flags out on the move. And now Cartel are in trouble. 2 minutes and 40 left on the clock.
2 were down for Cartel, but Snipedrone's in an area maybe to stop this flag. For OEX, they need to assist this immediately. A lot of nades need to go into that closet area, try and defend. Look at it tethering off the flag as well. That's something the dynamo grenades do, or the sizzle sticks, whatever you want to call them. They tether off of objective, they tether off of weapons on the pads, and they tether off of other players. They are very powerful things to use.
We're seeing this flag stopped in its tracks for the moment. Gun engagements will go down. Patience has to be shown here from OEX. Do not desperate it here. You might only have 1 push left in you with 2 minutes. Clock is very much against you. Big 1v1 engagement though. SLG comes out on top. Fragxr's in the respawn screen. Are they going to need him to get this return? He's thrown it back base, recognizing that they're in trouble, and this flag could get returned very quickly.
I like that he scouted around to try and find someone, but that flag will be returned. But it's about now what Cartel can do, and it looks like they're going to be able to twos up. We'll get that re, and that is a massive play from Cartel. Will now look to run a flag of their own.
A dagger to the heart of OEX and their aspirations of taking this game number 1 as this flag is getting relayed all the way home. NURIX is a player down, as is Shaady. But this flag has made it all the way home. Nobody seems to be positioned, but is positioned as a kill comes through. Huge plays. That flag is stopped in its tracks, and a flag pull as well. It's back and forth.
Yes, Lqgend and Shaady, the last 2, and Shaady can't get there in time. So even though they tossed the flag out, it's just the fact they got the re, which was big for OEX. We're going to be seeing a lot of this in Aquarius. This is why it's so exciting. Watch capture the flag on this map. You can stop someone so easily if you do just shoot from a long distance away, shoot from that other base, shoot from top middle, get those nades in. A cap is not a cap until they've put it into that spot.
It's not over till the fat lady sings, but 3-2 is the score, and only 50 seconds and a bit of change left for the score to be affected. And OEX to the team that need to get that flag cap. Cartel recognizing that they're playing defense. They're setting up a stronghold. If you want that flag, come get it. They're inviting the pressure on. Will it tell?
Very dangerous to turtle up and invite pressure against a team like OEX, though. SLG already getting the opener. Now OEX, they just need to find these last 3 remaining players, get them on spawn. That's the perfect kill.
Perfect kill. Flag out on the move. Already up towards this top open side as well. Juggling all the way home. 2 members have gone down for OEX, but as they have done for Cartel, this could be secured, but it's not definitely not locked in. There we have it. They have tied up, Dan. 3-3. 10 seconds left on the clock. We're going to overtime again.
Sometimes history just repeats itself, and yep, you're right, unless we see a flag touch right about now, but we're not going to. It happened last week, it's happening again. These 2 seem inseparable when it comes to Aquarius capture the flag. We go to overtime first. If we can't find a resolution after these minutes, these 5 minutes in overtime, then it becomes a golden cap. First cap wins after restarting the game. But we've got these 5 to get through first. I've got to say, Cartel will be kicking themselves with how close they were to getting that 4th flag, which would have been the winning flag. And then to throw it away in the last 20 seconds, that is very much not something that you'll want to see as the triple kill comes through for Shaady.
Shaady gets that triple kill, and his reward for that, a camouflage. And he's starting to move towards closet. You've seen SLG move accordingly, trying to cut off those lines of sight. And unfortunately for him, with the help of Snipedrone, they get that kill. But there goes the camo player. That could be big.
Could be big. Now flag can be pulled. Shady's still down, so Snipedrone just needs a little bit of assistance here. He's seen where that player is, and I think there may have been the trade. So now for Snipedrone, just needs to be communicating, relaying this information.
Information, no doubt, will be coming through. He might have to change his comms from last week to I kill things to I run flag. He's been definitely more willing to get his hands dirty, and flag down to no shields, and that's going to be the victory. Golden cap, last cap wins. Impressive performance out of Cartel. Again, they win 4-3 in overtime. OEX so close, Dan.
this is so frustrating if you're on the side of OEX. They are going to be asking, why is it every single time, overtime, we lose that one flag? They were just a feather away from being able to stop Snipedrone there, and it might have been another re because several players had gone down with Snipedrone still alive. It's just so close. Sometimes it's those margins though, right? Those fine margins. The difference is hitting one shot or not hitting one shot can sometimes lose you the game. I do think ultimately the flag runs were a bit better than Cartel, but certainly in terms of slays, they were very even. We didn't see as much of a pop-off from Snipedrone. Instead, OEX, they stepped up to the plate, they matched Cartel man for man, but overall, it just was too strong for Cartel. Their setups were a little bit better, their returns sometimes were far stronger as well, and I'm very impressed that they were able to clutch it up after losing that flag in the final moments just before overtime.
Over towards Neon and indeed over towards Red on that little avenue where you can head towards top stairs if you're going to push Arcade. So it can be very difficult if you do spawn back there, but you're saying you expect to see aggression on spawns at all times, and there we see the rocket launcher, and that's definitely going to play its part. Yeah,
I don't necessarily want to see aggression, but I think it's going to happen with these two sides and how they like to play this game. One thing I will say is that if you are stuck in station, you've got to all push together. You've got to make a decision where you want to go, whether that be ramp, whether that be neons. You can be a little bit vulnerable if you push ramp from top PD. You can get some fantastic sight lines from top PD. But already we're seeing the Stalker Rifle in action here from SLG.
Yeah, SLG looking down at his prey with the Stalker Rifle, putting down a couple of shots, and them ones did hurt quite considerably. 4 up now for the moment for Cartel. An engagement goes down, but Sica wisely decides to back down. We don't touch upon Sica too much, Dan. We always talk about Snipedrone, we talk about the combination, the duo that is Lqgend and Shaady, but Sica is the glue that holds this team together.
Yeah, and you need players like that. You need someone who is going to be prepared to do the dirty work. And Sica can step up and do the slays as well, but he's very much just, you know, an everyman. He is there doing every single thing you would ask of him. He's a fantastic teammate, and I think everyone would dream of having someone like Sica on their side. A couple of rockets, though, in the hands here of Lqgend.
Puts the first one to use, takes down TchiK, back down into Red. He also has the Bulldog to play with as well. It barks and it bites, but unfortunately not able to put any significant numbers on the board. Do they know rockets are down over towards Red? We'll have to take a look as Fragxr is in a gunfight over towards that Red side with Shaady. He does win, but does he know the weapons are down there?
I think actually there's only one rocket in there, so when I said a couple, I didn't really mean a couple. It was just a single rocket fired, and it's out, so it's not going to be used. Snipedrone gets sticky to the face, but this is the battles I was talking about. Hold this arcade area, gain control, get someone in tires, get someone towards PD, and then you force the other team to kind of have to play station, to have to play neons.
Early engagements then in favor of OEX. 13 kills to 10. They have a 3-kill cushion over Cartel. Both teams up to a full complement of players. Lqgend goes down, as does Shaady, and importantly, a double kill comes through for Fragxr. And that's going to help them just push away even further. SLG getting another kill to make that 17 to 11. OEX starting to pull away, Dan. Rockets up.
Yeah, they just need to be more comfortable when it comes to Slayers. They won Aquarius Slayer last week. They won Bizarre Slayer last week against Cartel. And maybe they just have a little bit more teamwork when it comes to these Slayer games. Maybe the structure isn't quite there for Cartel when it's outside of these objectives. And you'd think, as a team who slays so well in those objectives, it would naturally transition over to Slayer game types, but it doesn't seem to be doing so right now.
That rocket launcher, must be said, it was a bit of a pucket rocket. He sent it over and it did take out his own teammate in NURIX, but NURIX has come back off the respawn and made amends for that and put a kill on the board. Fighting against Shaady now, trying to make the best of it as he could was Shaady, but Lqgend answers back with a double kill of his own in the kill feed. Trades go back and forth, but OEX still ahead by 6.
But Cartel, look at them. They're pushing on their advantages. They did push into station there. Did they need to? Perhaps not, because Lqgend now is behind enemy lines, but if they spot that OEX, he could leave himself a little bit vulnerable, but it's okay, because Cartel are still taking the fights in the right areas. They should be able to do enough to keep at least in touching distance here with OEX.
Lqgend gets that kill with Shaady, and that's always a sticky spot to be in if you're the player with rockets. When you're up close and personal with somebody, you don't want to fire that rocket. You know it's going to result in you dying, but it was a needs must there. Born out of necessity, he fires that rocket, gets the kill, and if you're in the shoes of OEX, you'll take trades all day long here.
Yeah, you'll take 1-for-1 trades, but when they start to become 2 versus 1 trades, then things are looking a little bit sticky. It's only a 4-kill advantage now for OEX, and even though in a game that is often as tight as it is between these two, 4 kills could be massive. You still want to build on that. You want to put this game out of reach as early as possible, because Cartel are always a team that can come back into things in the latter stages of a game.
Nervy moments then. That kill lead has been restored to 6 now. SLG in a fight towards this stairs area, and Sica comes out on top. The glue gets the business done. Looking over towards the stats, Lqgend has 10 kills. Sica with the 7, but a man that's playing really impressive right now is NURIX, 12 kills, and he's leading the game.
And we saw how powerful NURIX was on an objective on this when we played Strongholds on Streets. He dropped a 27 bomb. This just seems to be his home here on Streets. Just a small arena map with so many different avenues to take. But at the moment, it's Lqgend who is popping off with some kills.
You can get in and out of fights so quickly and disappear like you were never there. Almost play like an assassin. Get in, get the kill, get out, like nobody ever knew you were there. NURIX in this engagement with Sica, he comes out on top, still Sica, but SLG makes sure that kill is traded out 1 for 1. 32 kills to 37, still have that 5 kill cushion as we tip ever so closer towards that final 10 kills mark. And OEX playing this perfectly.
So right now, if OEX do just continue this intensity and they keep finishing those kills, they keep trading out those kills, making sure those one-shots get closed out, they should be able to take us to a game 3 here. It's something that Cartel haven't done as well. We've seen a lot of 1v1 engagements happen, but it's always OEX who get the cleanup.
Now then, game slowing down just a touch as Sica slides in and trades out once more. It's a similar story as what we've seen all game long. Anytime a kill is down to no shields, emphasis is put on it. As engagement goes down in PD, shots getting traded back and forth. SLG's life is going to go down. 2 members down now for OEX and it's 3 up for Cartel. So they can claw their way back into this, down by 5, but it has to be perfect Halo now.
Yeah, it needs to be Snipedrone stepping up. He's 7-12. He was 4-12, but he's going on a little bit of a spree now. These rockets could change things, of course, and only a 4-kill disadvantage. It can very easily flip around if you play this correctly. But you're right, it has slowed down a little bit. Fragxr might get caught out on his own, though. You've got to be careful. You can't be pushing alone at this point, but maybe that's given the freedom for the rest of the team to push through for rockets.
They've got the rockets. The map has opened up just a touch. He fires that one. It's only going to be a warning flare, though, but the second one will connect to put this within 1 kill and making this series all tied up. But it's 49-45. Is anybody in position to clean up these kills? It looks as though there's a player extending the cafe. We're not going to see the final kill, but I can confirm it's happened. 1-1 is the series.
I think it was always going to be the Slayer game time that OEX were going to be able to take Cartel, if any, here. But certainly Street Slayer didn't look a comfortable one for Cartel whatsoever, especially Snipedrone. Didn't look himself, didn't seem like he knew how to play Street Slayer, if I'm honest. I'm not sure many people know how to play Street Slayer at the moment, still in the early stages of this game. But with Snipedrone, it's about practice. It's about him knowing the map, knowing how he wants to play the Snipedrone way. When it's a messy game like that and everyone's all over the place, I think Snipedrone just got a little bit lost at times. And being one of the kind of better players to really pick up those multi-kills, just wasn't able to pop off. The same for Shaady. They both struggled a bit. Lqgend tried to kind of pull his weight, but it wasn't enough to match OEX, who seem far more comfortable when it comes to Streets. Not just Strongholds, which we saw them win earlier on today. Slayer seems to be at their home as well. NURIX with a very impressive KDA, a 61% accuracy as well from him. Lqgend with a 63% accuracy. Fantastic. It is great to see how much consistency we're seeing from some of these players. In the other side, if someone is picking up the kills elsewhere, and I think there are definitely players on the OEX team who can pick up the pieces here, and they can be that main Slayer, so it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, as long as SLG is making the right calls.
It's your winners finals, game 3. Starting strats and engagement's going to be so important. Whoever wins this does advance, and whoever loses will be popped down to the losers finals to await, whether it be Na'Vi or whether it be TMDA or whatever they were called. 4 letters. Who knows? Who cares? But what we will see is open engagements have gone the way of OEX. 4 up and 2 dead for Cartel momentarily. Camouflage in the chest of NURIX. Yeah,
now NURIX, just the turn there to make sure he gets the kill. Great listening. That's something you need in your players. NURIX has been the player to step up. When we say about Slayers and we say about SLG not necessarily dropping as much kills, it's been all about NURIX today. If he can get firing, he can give OEX a real chance to take down Cartel in this final game 3.
And what NURIX needed was somebody to back that player down top. Yellow Snipedrone, eyes trained on control door, ready to do damage at a moment's notice. Ball dropped down towards bottom middle. That won't help anybody in its current position. We're going to have to see Cartel rotate down there now, pick it up and get some time on the board.
And you're so reluctant to push for that ball because you know how detrimental it can be if you pick the ball up at the wrong time and you give slays to the opposition. One setup can sometimes accumulate 50 points at a time, and that's half the points towards winning a round. So you've really got to be careful. You've got to choose wisely when you want to grab that ball if it's in dangerous areas.
We're seeing Shaady now just bait this ball a touch. SLG not aware of his position. Shaady will get that kill onto SLG, but NURIX answers back. That's going to be a trade like we've seen in the Slayers time and time again. Lqgend trying to do as much damage as he can, but he's one of the only members left and is the only member left for Cartel to do any sort of significant damage. Has to be aware of backing down now. Sica trying to extend. You can see in the player outlines we're on board with NURIX. TchiK drops down bottom elevator. Can he get face to face with somebody? In the end, doesn't need to. They have a bit of a setup here, Dan.
Look where Snipedrone is. He's away from everyone else, and actually he's gone down because of it. He was trying to anchor, trying to maybe give a little bit of support to the rest of Cartel, who were going to try and transition through control towards Turbine. But with Snipedrone going down first, that makes it so difficult for Cartel to break in. But at least we have seen OEX transition, rotate this ball. They recognize that actually there were too many members of Cartel nearby, and they're just going to take the time they were able to accumulate in that short space.
Ball dropped by TchiK, opting to prioritize slays, and because of that, he gets the kill on the Sica and evens up the numbers for a moment. Something we haven't seen utilized just yet is the sword. It's because it's so far away, you have to be out of the fight for so long, and neither one of these teams really want to be down a man while fighting. Perfect shots, though, coming out of Snipedrone. He doesn't miss, but he does fall.
I would say every member of this winners bracket final has the ability to hit shots like that over and over, and that's why every individual fight you take is a scary one. You know they can pull out a perfect just from nothing. So you've got to be within a distance of your teammates, you've got to be communicating, and you need to follow up with these kills. You need to make sure these one-shots are cleaned up, because if they're not, they can run around a corner and they could just force someone out of nowhere.
Reminder then, score 35-3 in this oddball game. Winner of this will advance. The buck stops here. No more chances. The loser will get down to the losers finals. Ball time now, in control of Lqgend. He opts to throw it down, realizing he's in a bit of trouble. A spot of bother, 2v1 here, and unfortunately, you won't be able to get out of that jam. Sticky situation. TchiK, though, he's having a great game, as is NURIX.
Yeah, I do think OEX are partnering up a little bit better right now. They're running as twos, wolf packing around the map, making it difficult for Cartel to get these 1v1 engagements that they find so much success with. The next camo is going to be quite an important one, because the ball is in an area where that could transition to pipes, and it could be a solid setup for whichever team grabs it. So if you've got the camo, you can be a big influencer to that. You can either create that setup, or you can break that setup.
Cartel have been top dogs for so long, but OEX are hungry. And they're hunting in that pack, like you say. Ball now rotated over towards blue. They have now got the option to play it if they need to. Numbers advantage in their favor, though. Is going to play it just to be safe. I'm not too upset with that from SLG. They're going to slay out. And you're seeing how hyper-focused he was to get that one kill, but somehow SLG slippery evades when he gets away.
SLG just calling for help as quick as possible, and help came along. Lqgend just couldn't get the kill. And you've got to say, maybe he should have picked that one up. Just missed a few shots. But it does demonstrate how much and how important teamwork is.
We're seeing more fights go down. Snipedrone's going to get a double. Does get a double. Locks that one in. That's going to help them open up the map. Camouflage now popped. He picked it up and used his time wisely when to use it. Ball down over towards this batteries area. Snipedrone trying to clear out top yellow. Recognizing SLG's setup around there, as is TchiK. And I like this trigger discipline from him, just getting behind enemy lines. Can he break the setup?
Snipedrone genuinely just picked up 2 back-to-back doubles with camo on his back before he even popped it in. Yeah. Talk about discipline, talk about timing it correctly. That's amazing from Snipedrone. And now look what he's been able to do. He's been a real nuisance here in yellow. He's still getting kills. He's on a spree now, and they've got ball time.
He dropped that sticky grenade, put it in the oven, and he's just waiting for someone to slide straight into it. And that's exactly what SLG did. He obliged, came in, got the damage from that plasma pistol, or plasma grenade rather, and got the kill to secure it. Now OEX are up to a full 4. SLG and the boys need to make a good push here to break this setup, because you don't want to be getting it out of control. You have to be aware. Do not just throw bodies forward for body's sake.
Well, they're sending 2 through pipes at the moment. You just need someone else to be coming from attic way to really make that work, and it looks like that's exactly what they did. The collapse has worked out. They forced Cartel to play the ball to top middle, and then TchiK recognizing he can get some scrappy time here. Only 1 minute left on the clock. Of course, it does pause when you are holding the ball, but that means that Cartel need to rush about things. They need to start being a little quicker with their pushes. They can't allow OEX a solid setup.
65 to 38. That score ever increasing for Cartel. And SLG is one of the best around at getting away with the ball. Unfortunately, not able to do this time. The Englishman shuts him down. Snipedrone's going to rotate this towards Thor, but not before being faced with some players of his own. TchiK takes him down this time. That's going to be 3v3 now, as NURIX and Snipedrone await to get back into the action.
See, now OEX have a decision to make. You can literally just slay here. Play Team Slayer and just kill Cartel. There's only 30 seconds on the clock. You don't need to grab the ball. If you grab the ball and put it in a position where Cartel can then pick it up in a setup, then you're going to be finding yourselves in a very sticky situation. Right now, the ball is difficult to grab. Slay out Cartel and you will win this first round.
Slay out they are doing, Dan. 4 dead now for Cartel.
Don't need to pick it up. Don't need to pick it up.
They're picking up the ball. They're doing it anyway. They only need 25 seconds left, but there's not going to be enough time on the board. 10 seconds now. Just keep Cartel off the board, and you will have 1 foot in grand finals. Can they do it? Down to 5 seconds. Keep them off the ball. Slay out. Slay and pray here. Shaady desperately tries to get the ball as he needs to. Time is up. Round 1 goes the way of OEX. They've got 1 foot in the door, and it looks to me right now, Cartel, they're human. They bleed.
They do bleed, and now we've got to see Cartel respond, because otherwise OEX will be going to that grand finals. They will be doing the unthinkable. You said it earlier, we've not seen Cartel lose a series in what seems like forever. Going through Halo 5, dominating Halo 5. OEX and SLG, they've watched along, they've watched the domination of Cartel. This is their chance now to try and become the #1. Even though it's not the entire tournament, it's job 1 done. It's getting to that grand finals, but they've still got to get through another round of Oddball.
NURIX, camouflage in his chest, and they've got to be vibing now. Playing off pure confidence. Sica picks up the ball, but we're seeing now NURIX right behind Snipedrone. He does give away his position and isn't able to get a kill in the end, and that's a misplay from NURIX. I thought he was going to get sneaky, but unfortunately, the trigger discipline just wasn't there.
Well, he tried to get sneaky, but I think Snipedrone just saw a glimmer on his screen and he turned, and then you always get that panic when they turn and they look straight at you. The camouflage, even though it's good at times, you do have that little shimmer about you. You can be spotted.
Do we say it was snipey senses instead of spidey senses? Is that what's just happened there? As ball goes down, nobody really able to get their hands on it. We're going to see that now for a moment. No, we're not, as the balls drop down. Score still 19 in favor of Cartel this time, and this is what we're going to see what Cartel are made of. They've never really had their backs against the wall like this.
Yeah, even though in some series it's been close, like this is dangerously close for them to lose in this series, and I think they'll know that, and that might just make them pucker up, but maybe it will make them crumble. I don't know. This is slightly uncharted territory for Cartel. It has to be said. They are yet to lose a game in this tournament before they faced up against OEX, and it really does show that these two teams just seem to be a little bit head and shoulders above the rest of Europe right now. Then you've got Na'Vi in 3rd, then you've got HMDA who are around 4th, and Europe is just so split when it comes to that top 6, but OEX would very much love to knock Cartel off that top 1 pedestal.
Cartel looked as though they were going to try and set up, and look, using that repulsor, sends him off the map. Great play out of TchiK. Unfortunately, he's shut down though. It's very, very scrappy, but NURIX, after all that melee, has his hand on the ball, starting to tick up some points.
Yeah, everyone was meleeing, and I thought the ball was going to go off the map, but somehow still stays, and it still is in blue as well. Very dangerous area for the ball to be held, because it could be played because of 1 nade, because of 1 repulsor, or whatever, just repulsing someone off the map. But it looks like Cartel will be able to gain a little bit more time. Shaady decides he'd rather fight.
Fight he does. Great decision from him. 3 members down now. SLG, the last remaining member for OEX. This is going to be uncontested time while waiting for them to spawn back up. He has it positioned in a perfect place as well. If they get in trouble, he can drop and slay. He has so many decisions at his disposal, and can change on a dime. We're seeing 1 member go down. That might just start it. 2 members down now. Lqgend and Snipedrone. You can see Shaady immediately position himself, ready for the play ball. There it is. They're getting ready to fight.
And even though the sword is there to be taken, you're probably wondering, why aren't they grabbing that sword? Well, if you bring it into play and then you give it to your opposition, you give them that chance to really set up with the sword. So sometimes both teams just accept they'd rather the sword not be on the map than actually have the chance of giving it away to the opposition. 59 to 15 though, Cartel, they're dominating this round so far.
Been all one-way traffic. Cartel keep on scoring. We've seen TchiK pick up the ball for a moment, but I think it was more out of panic than anything else, just trying to secure the ball, move it as far away as he could before going down, and seeing the lead now extend 67 points to 15. Cartel growing more now into this series, growing in confidence. They know they get one win on the board here. It's going to be a coin flip for round 3, but they still have it all to do. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock as well. So plenty of time for this game to shift and flow.
Wow, TchiK is able to get some time here. A couple of players of Cartel down. Rotating it towards spawners, that's good, but there is one player of Cartel in the area. It's Sica. So now this ball suddenly becomes a little bit vulnerable. So even though it was a good idea, there wasn't maybe as much time gathered as they could have if they had tried to just set up together around the pipes area. Okay, 4 members up for Cartel versus 4. It's going to be how good is your setup here. They don't have many pushes left in them, do OEX. 85 seconds, and it's very slowly ticking towards squeaky bum time. We're seeing just Sica setting up in the milkiest spot as he possibly could, knowing that if he dies, he definitely plays that ball. Camo, though, in the chest of Shaady, and how instrumental, how influential can he be here in this push? Gets 1 kill. They only need 11 seconds, but the ball is over with OEX. They're going to have to wait. Just as a reminder, Cartel need 2 more rounds. Ignore the fact that there's a red dot down there. OEX have got 1, Cartel still on 0, but it looks like it might be tied up if Cartel can continue playing the way they are. But OEX still always have that comeback factor. They still always can outslay their opponents. They just need 1 setup jersey, and this game can very easily flip on its head. But right now, the ball is in an awkward area to grab.
Looking over towards the stats, the man that's having a slow round is the player Lqgend. Only 5 kills, but it matters not when the team is slaying up around you. He's trying to use that rifle, but he's unable to do so is SLG, and now the ball is rotating away. This should be the final seconds to tie up this game and tie up this series. Honors even, it's going to be 1-1 in the series, 1-1 in the oddball. We're going to round 3 of this game 3 in our winners finals.
This is exactly what we want, though, right? With just 2 French dominant sides and Snipedrone, we are seeing the best of European Halo go toe-to-toe, and what better way than doing it in round 3 of game 3. But for both teams, they have looked pretty poor in the rounds where they've lost. We need to see a more even match from both sides. They can't allow themselves to get pushed over so easily when they lose control in the early stages. And a lot of that comes down to panic. For example, Cartel, they're getting ball time. They've got a little bit of a setup. They might put some points on the board here. OEX cannot afford to panic. Just wait, calm down, wait for spawners, push together. Lqgend
is going down to the wire here. They've got the ball set up in pipes. No sword to complement it, but he has fumbled that ball a little bit and thrown it out. Teammate there, though, on hand to retrieve it. NURIX is the first man to go down, but they have even the odds with Shaady on the opposite side. 3 dead now for OEX. This should be uncontested time and big, big trouble if you're an OEX fan.
Yep, NURIX has to wait off spawn. Even though there's a lot of time being gathered by Cartel, it's not over until you see that tick over to 100. It can very easily change hands. If you can break the setup and keep that ball in yellow, then you can get time like this. Sword is in play as well. Sword is on the map somewhere. You saw Shaady just walk past it. If Cartel get hold of it, this could be the end for OEX.
My God, Shaady was on a tear. Double kill, almost turned it into a triple. But now we're seeing Lqgend rotate that ball over towards his teammate in Sica, given the all clear, given the green light. Teammate spawning up towards bottom left. Perfect rotations out of him. Is taken down to just over 1 shot, so that's going to hurt him just a little bit. Face to face with Fragxr. Does play that ball a little bit now, but they've gotten so much time. The damage has already been done. 67 seconds to 0. And when their backs are against the wall here, Dan, they're showing what they're made of.
Well, both rounds before is just when one team has taken an advantage, the other team has crumbled. So OEX, they need to respond with this setup here and now. It's not going to get as much time setting up an elevator, and especially when Camo's coming up. This is the worst time for Camo to come up for OEX because they want to set up, they want to get around the ball, but TchiK already panicking, knows he can't hold on to the ball on his own, knows there's a battle happening in Camo, and they won't pick up any more points from that.
Did see Shaady positioned down bottom middle, waiting for the Camo, almost like it was a bus, had his finger on his watch, and there it is. It's in his chest. What can he do with it? He has got his members around him, but he needs some distractions to try and make some moves, try and make some waves. 67 seconds to 17, the score. What can he do? He does get face to face, and that's not what he wanted to do, and he's going to lose that Camo very cheaply.
Well, unlike London buses, Camos do come every 2 minutes, so there will be another one that we will see in play before this game comes to its resolution, you'd imagine, unless we see Cartel get a heavy setup right this second. But it's OEX who are putting some more ball time. They've got it into pipes, but they need to win this engagement.
Engagement does go down. They have gotten the better of the first player, and recognizing now, Fragxr knows he's down to no shields, leaves that fight for his teammate, relies on him heavily, and they have traded that out. Snipedrone recognizes as well that he's in big trouble, but unfortunately he's not able to scamper away with his life, and that's going to be ball time. It's going to be scrappy, but they have got the ball in the right situation. It's in the right area, located over towards pipes.
Yeah, so it's going to be one push for Cartel here to try and stop this setup. It's going to be 4 up on both sides, and we've got the Mangler in the hands of NURIX. This is just as good as having a sword at times, holding this area because of that. It does so much damage, and you can really hold the one area of pipes.
Mangle doing exactly what it says in the tin. Mangling, but players do go down. 4 dead momentarily for Cartel. That's going to be even more time for OEX. Fragxr prioritizing staying alive. They really need to put some points on the board here, specifically when there's so many members down. Snipedrone gets himself involved in a fight over towards the yellow stairs. Backs down. It is cleaned up by a teammate, though, is Snipedrone, but players Shaady down towards that repulsor spawn, backed up all the way into the store. This is perfect. You've got them right where you want them.
Yeah, OEX is starting to slay Cartel quite heavily now. We're seeing Cartel struggling to get off spawn. It's what you want to do. You want to keep them on a spawn cycle where it's only 2 or 1 player pushing at a time. NURIX goes down, so Cartel now will try and take advantage of some players falling, but it's a 2 versus 2 here.
SLG shows you the ball, takes it away. Being a bit of a magician, drops it down bottom middle and almost plays his life, but unfortunately he was cleaned up over towards that turbine area just before he rounded that corner. Ball down on batteries, though. This next time, this next camouflage could be pivotal.
Yeah, another 48 seconds until we see that camo pop up. But for now, it looks like Cartel have actually achieved a little bit of a setup. OEX don't want to allow them to set up, and that's why we're seeing them burst into pipes here. And now Cartel have to respond.
They need a little bit more steam if they can draw them from that pipes, and that's all fair game. 2 members do go down momentarily for Cartel, though. Sica does even the odds just a touch. A ball in the hands of OEX, importantly here. It's now 79-60, only separated by 15 or so seconds now. This game is nip-tuck.
We're getting to that point, Shazy, where one setup could win you this series, could send you into the grand finals. It could be this setup here and now for OEX, but NURIX is down, so you've got to play this very carefully, delicately. You cannot afford to let one player fall, but here comes Cartel.
2 members do go down at the worst possible time. Pre-nades go down for SLG as well. 3 members down for OEX. Probably the worst possible time when it looked as though they had all the ingredients to secure the win. Now Cartel have the ball. They only need 10 more seconds. 1 play this game has been separated by.
1 push from OEX. They have to go now. They have to stop this ball.
Grenade comes in. Can they get the stop on this ball? He's just being so evasive, playing his life is Lqgend. Did he get the ball time? Yes, he did. Somehow, some way, Cartel come out on top in your winners finals.
They still do it time and time again when I'm just thinking, okay, the Cartel train's going to stop. OEX are going to come back and they're going to show us what they're made of. Cartel do it again and they're in the grand final, and OEX were so close. They went a round up, but Cartel just said, hey boys, when was the last time we lost the series? Do you remember what that feels like? No, me neither. Let's make sure we don't know what that feeling ever feels like again. Let's get to another grand final. And they did it in style, just with a fantastic push at the end. If that push had gone wrong, they lose that series. That is a risky push to make. And they're able to push 2 through pipes. They get those kills. They pre-nade, knowing SLG is going to be there, pushing from lower attic, pushing up those stairs. And after that kill happened, I think OEX probably knew they weren't able to push in and manage to stop that ball. What a series it was, though. Winners bracket finals, and these 2 teams never disappoint.